We're out at Maize South High School for this week's Male High School Athlete of the Week. After a week of hitting for the cycle, getting a win on the pitching mound, and doing just a little bit of everything, Maize South's Brody Epke is our Male High School Athlete of the Week, brought to you by Distinct Ink and Great Clips. Brody, first of all, congratulations on the first ever cycle in Maize South history. Let's start there. Tell me about that day and kind of what was working for you to accomplish something so rare in baseball.
Honestly, it was a normal day, Tuesday game, nothing special about it. Couldn't have really done it without a good team, obviously, trusting my instincts. It kind of started the second game. First game I was hot, went 5 for 5. And then the second game, just tried to keep it rolling. Didn't try to do too much, just stay within myself, and I got the pitches to hit and did damage, and that's all about it.
And you got the win on the mound in the other game, right? So doing a little bit of everything. You talked about playing outfield. We talked about your offense. But pitching-wise, that's such an interesting flip, right? It's a completely different mindset in the same doubleheader. How do you kind of flip that switch mentally and attack things from a pitcher perspective?
Honestly, I kind of use it to my advantage, knowing how I pitch, understanding how that works, and kind of using that to my advantage at the plate. I kind of use it as leverage for both, you could say, because I know a lot of guys it's tough, but I use it as leverage, and I think that's kind of what helps me thrive on the mound and at the plate.
Well, I talked to Coach Preston, and he had nothing but high praise for you as a leader and as a player, and he said that you've overcome a lot injury-wise, especially as a pitcher with Tommy John surgery. What was that experience like as such a young guy to experience something like that? I know it couldn't have been easy, but did you learn a lot from that experience, and did it help kind of round out the rest of your game while you couldn't pitch maybe for a while?
Yeah, honestly, it kind of helped me with baseball IQ. I learned basically what I know now about the game at that point. Playing is a lot different than being a spectator. When I was hurt, I was able to watch the game more, understand things from kind of all perspectives, every position, not only as a pitcher or an outfielder, but even as a hitter, understanding kind of how different minds work. And I think that helped me thrive at the plate for the cycle, understanding kind of how people think, what's going to come next, pitches, stuff like that. And I think that really helped me thrive.
And as a young athlete dealing with that and being out for a while, I know that's never easy, but how do you stay involved in the game while you're not able to play? Do you help kind of act as a coach from the sideline there? Is that kind of what helped develop your baseball IQ a little bit, seeing things differently from the dugout maybe?
Yeah, being a son of a former MLB player helps. He coached my dad or my brother's team, and being able to kind of help coach them, I learned a lot from him and from my brother's team as well. Just being a player, but also coaching, you learn a lot. And I was able to call pitches. That summer I was hurt, and I think that really helped me on the mound too, understanding how to throw timing off the hitters. Because as a pitcher, that's your main goal, is you want to try and keep the hitters off timing as much as you can. And I think calling pitches for them really helped me kind of develop that aspect of throwing timing off.
Again, we're visiting with our Male High School Athlete of the Week in Brody Epke, who's sporting a Omaha Mavericks shirt today. That's where you're heading for your next step in college baseball. Tell me a little bit about your recruiting process and kind of what led you to choosing the Mavericks.
Yeah, I mean, having family in Omaha first off was a big pull factor for Omaha. I had a few offers, a lot of local JUCOs, and then South Dakota State was another Division I program that I had, and every coaching staff at every school I couldn't have gone wrong with. I loved them all. They were very nice and supportive and helpful along my journey. But in the end, I chose Omaha because, one, their schooling program. They got a really good engineering program, and that is what I want to major in. And then they also have a really good baseball program. I love the coaching staff there.
Absolutely. Well, a program that's on the rise. What when you look at a program like Omaha that's building and continuing to do great things, how do you want to impact a program like that? And maybe in turn, do you feel like you've impacted the Maize South baseball program as well?
From the Omaha standpoint, we are bringing in a really solid freshman class, and I think that's kind of like a chip on our shoulder. Like, we could be the class essentially that turns around a program, and I think that's something that has always stayed in the back of my mind is like we could make history essentially, and I think that's kind of the cool part. And then from Maize South, it's always been about the seniors ahead of me. They laid foundations, and they kind of helped me be the captain I am today. My freshman year, there were a lot of guys in the outfield that were seniors, and they kind of led me the way. And then my sophomore year being hurt, the seniors were very supportive still. And then junior year, Tate McNew. That's a big name around here. He led the team to what should have been a good team, and we were. And he kind of showed me and some other seniors what a true captain looks like, and I think that's why we're thriving this year right now. We've got the leadership to do it, and I think we kind of turn around the season. We started out a little slow, but kind of the leaders stepped up, and we're like, hey, hop on the backs, and we're riding this one now.
Absolutely. Well, I'm looking at a 2017 state champion banner out there in center field. I know you want to end your high school career with adding one of those. What is it going to take for you and your team to accomplish that big goal that you have this year and hanging a banner?
It's going to take a lot from the team. I mean, I can't do it myself. Nobody else can do it by themselves. We got to pull as a team and fight as a team. Our coach talks about faith a lot, and I think we have to have faith in each other. Like, I believe any guy 1 through 9 in our order can get a job done late in the game and can win a ball game at any point on the mound. And I think that's a true test to the brotherhood we have as a team. And I think we can ride the brotherhood for a long ride in state.
Absolutely. And you play in one of the toughest leagues in the state of Kansas, and obviously there's a ton of great baseball, not only in the AVCTL, but all around the city of Wichita, the state of Kansas. So you've played a lot of really solid opponents and seen a lot of great baseball. How do you feel like that has helped develop you over your high school career and prepare you for this stretch run the rest of the regular season and into the playoffs?
Yeah, I think the AVCTL, ever since my freshman year, has been a really solid conference. I mean, day in and day out, we're playing the best arms, and we're seeing top arms every game. And I think that's something that, as a program, we love to have, because when you get to state, you're going to see everybody's best. And I think that's something that really helps us. Like this year, we tried to have a tough schedule, knowing that if we make it to state, we're going to see good teams from the Kansas City area, but also around here. And I think that's something that helps us as a team, just being able to play against the best in regular season, because when you get to postseason, one loss and you're done. And I think that's something that we've learned during the regular season is if we can beat somebody's top arm, then I think we got a good shot.
Absolutely. Again, we're visiting with Brody Epke, our high school athlete of the week here on ESPN Wichita. Brody, just on a kind of fun side of things, what do you like to do outside of baseball? I know it's a lot of your energy goes into this sport right now, but what do you do to relax and have fun away from the game?
I love to hunt and fish. It's been in my family's blood for ages, and I think that's something that I always love to do, especially it's not during baseball season. So I love to hunt with my brother and my dad, and I think that's something that always keeps me going. Is it's something away from baseball, but it's something that I also love. And I love being in the outdoors, and I think that's something that I'll never forget, and I love to do that.
Now, baseball-wise, I got to ask you your favorite, since you're a guy that does a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
What do you prefer, pitching or hitting and playing the field?
I love to hit. As a hitter, especially when you're rolling, I think hitting is one of the most fun things to do in sports in general. But also, pitching is very fun because you can look at it from a player side. I'm going to throw 3 strikes and you're out. But I also like to look at it from a statistic side of, okay, this guy's a tendency pull. So I love throwing against that and kind of dissecting the game. I think that's a very fun part of the game as well.
Awesome. And then last, but maybe most important, what's your walk-up song? Got to know.
It's Welcome to the Show by Cody Johnson. I'm a big country fan, so I got to stay with the country theme.
That's a great choice. Cody Johnson is solid, and that would get me hyped up. I
Yeah,
definitely get it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Brody, again, congratulations on your performance this week, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
That's Brody Epke, your high school athlete of the week here on ESPN Wichita, brought to you by Distinct Ink and Great Clips.